Hey, Soulful thinking, family and friends. It's been a while since I've went live. Um, I hope you guys can hear me. I know I mentioned in one of my videos that I was going to probably try to go live once a week, either on here or um, one of my social medias, and I didn't know when I was going to do it. But today seemed like a perfect day to go. I had 2 bad days, and I don't know. Just curious how many other people out there that experience some type of mental disorder or mental illness, um, that really experience it and not just having it for a moment of something they're going through in their life, or COVID happened, or just in general, just really experience it and has had it since as long as they can remember. My channel is basically based around mental illness and how I deal with it on a daily basis and how I cope with it. And I know there's so many stigmas out there about mental illness, but to really actually have it is a hard thing to deal with, which led me to my locks journey. My station also talks about lock journey and how I became a different person with them, who I became, and learning the whole background about locks and why people do it for a spiritual journey. It has helped me, a lot with coping, and you're going to still have those days regardless. There's no getting around that. And then also I talk about meditation and chakras. I meditate a lot, to help me through what I'm going through. And chakras is just basically when your energy is off balance, it makes it really hard for things to work mentally, physically, or emotionally, and I've been trying to really use those things as a coping, you know. Some days for me, it just felt like putting a band-aid on face, but sometimes you gotta put a band-aid and cover up some things for a moment, at least just to make you feel better, but that scar is gonna still always be there. You're just gradually giving it things to make it feel better, ease the pain, you know. And I use YouTube as a vent for me, or to help others, realize that it's not just them, they're not the only one feeling or going through what they're going through. Everyone's going through it in some sort of form or way. Um, I've had a mental illness since I was probably a child, and as it seems like I'm getting older, it's harder to deal with, and I use YouTube as a vent for me, maybe how I'm feeling that day or what I may be going through that day. I suffer with OCD, uh, anxiety, depression, and I feel like when I'm having OCD issues, it brings on anxiety, which brings on the stress, which brings depression. You know, and OCD is when you constantly do things in orders, or having they need things to be a certain way, perfect, right, um, constant thing that you keep battling with and wanting things to be, and no matter how much you try to not be that way or do those things, and you think you're getting better at it, it comes to you still. it either still comes to you, no matter how much you want to face it and try to let it be. And there's some days I think I'm going to be okay with dealing with all these issues and illness I have. And the fact is, I block everything out. You know, if you want to call blocking like a band-aid, that's how it feels to me. It could be very scary and hard to deal with on days. Some days I'm just so tired of crying all the time, you know, and some people say crying is good and writing it down, expressing those things, but it's exhausting too, to keep coming back to the same feeling all the time. And every day is like people say, take it one day at a time. But with mental illness, just like you're taking it one moment at a time, because you just don't know how you feel and be on a given day or a given moment, you know. And it's like I gotta hurry up and run a meditation or some type of relaxation, mindfulness. I'm doing it all. Trust me. I am working on it, and I'm trying to work on it every day. I see a therapy. You know, it took me a long time to see a therapy because I thought I was losing my faith in God if I went to a therapy, you know. And some days I do feel like that because they're not around all the time, even when I'm going through my moments. You know, it's like, what's the point of it if I can't vent or talk to someone all the time? And the anxiety comes about, you know, and you get a headache. You know, you just want to lay down all the time. You don't want to do anything else. You just want the pain to stop and go away. You know, and you hate wanting to be around other people because when you be around other people, you don't want to feel like you just needy all the time or needing someone to talk to or she's always going through this or being a crutch or them being a crutch for you. It's exhausting for you, it's exhausting for them, you know, and it's hard trying to explain to what you're going through because especially if they're not experiencing it or going through, you rather just talk to someone that understands and feels everything you're going through and how you're feeling at that moment. You know, right now, just me being able to talk right now, whether no one's on the live or not, it doesn't even matter to me because I know eventually someone will hear it and listen, or it could be something for someone, or I'll get maybe a positive comment from someone what they're going through, how they handle it and deal with it, you know. And that's all I want to be is a resource for someone else, or they'll be a resource for me, you know, that they feel and they're going through the same thing and they understand, you know. My OCD is just like numbers and clean and relationship, wanting it to be a certain way, you know. I kind of messed that up in a sort of way, you know, which is hard. Working, having a child that you bring out of school because you want to homeschool them because of all these thoughts and feelings that you get every day by working or having your child in school or being in a relationship to it. You feel like you just need to be by yourself all the time. So you don't put those pressures and thoughts and feelings on other people. That's exhausting. And the anxiety comes along and it feels just the same. Now your head is racing and your heart is racing or you're pounding or you have worries and fear and just all these things. You just fall into a depression stage, you know, and sometimes it's good to get out of it because it can lead you to other thoughts. And then sometimes it's like be in that moment so you can deal with it and move on from it, whatever it is, instead of blocking it out. You know, I hear people say, "Oh, I'm depressed," And the things I hear them saying at the press about those people, you could say, oh, you'll be fine because you're just going through what you're going through for that moment. Imagine having it all the time, having these issues all the time, and not being able to come out of them sometimes, or don't know when they're going to come. Even when you think you're doing good or want to have an okay day, and I don't know, sometimes you just don't know. It's like I can go on and on. I can write a book about my life, and just as today was super hard. I had to force myself to come out. It's just like I'm just everything was just bothering me at one time. The relationship, my mom passing away, it's been hard dealing with because I miss her. I lost my dad. I lost both parents to cancer. And sometimes I just feel like I'm alone and feel like I can't breathe, you know. And I know you're supposed to practice breathing, and I practice those things, but then there's those days where that doesn't work. It doesn't work sometimes. And my sister is sick from cancer, and for 2 years now, I just had 2 bad years, mainly compared to all the other years of me dealing with this, being having COVID for like a whole month. And then after that, going into a mental hospital. And then after that, helping take care of your mom from being sick, watching her go through what she's going through, and not being able to have dealt with your own issues. And then, right, literally after that, another loved person of yours that's so close to dear to you having the same issue. It's just a lot. And I know some people say, oh, I understand and I get you, but if you really don't understand and you're not in that person's shoes, you can have a lot of empathy for that person, but actually understanding what they're going through and how they're feeling, yeah, that's a hard thing. Like right now, after I end this live, I have to really figure out how to push through for my day to see how the rest of my day is going to be or what it's going to look like, and I know that determines, and that's up to me how that is, you know. I do want to start coming on live more, or just not being afraid to let people know what you're going through, how you feel, not feeling embarrassed by it, accepting it, not you, sometimes it has a way of defining you, just trying not to let it, just continue to find hope and not giving up. It's crazy because people ask me all the time, are you happy? And every time they can ask me 1,000 things, but as soon as they get to, are you happy? It's just like your happiness is what you make of it, but then it's hard when and you want to feel happy, but then you don't know when you want to feel unhappy. So that's always a tough question people ask me, and not for me to answer. And I don't know. I feel like sometimes I'm tired of hiding my illness from the world when everyone in this world has some type of sort of disorder, illness, disability. So what's there to be ashamed of? The fact that I'm trying to help others and bring awareness makes me know that I am a strong person, stronger than some days I feel mentally. But I am strong, and I don't know how I can be helping other people if I keep this to myself and not share it. You know, not worry about what people think or feel or want to have, because people are going to have something to say. So yeah, thanks. Let me know in comments how you think it feel, or if you experience or know someone of anything I've talked about today. Like, comment, subscribe, and check out the next rest of my videos. And I'll see you on my next live. Thank you.